Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena, as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. And this is all about ease and flow and bettering your life. So I always get so excited. Today is an Ask Alena, and I have one show here that, gosh, this question is so perfect for right now. Thank you, whoever asked it, because we really need to talk about this, especially now. The question is, how to protect your soul from depression during the holiday. Right? It's totally apropos. Well, here's the thing, folks. Right now, this year, and even last year, in the last couple of years, it has been a hard Christmas for many, many, many people. There's COVID was the highest divorce rate. When we went through all that isolation, we learned we couldn't stand each other. So we had major divorces. So that means this Christmas, we have a lot of people who are alone. A lot of people who are trying to share their kids during the holidays. And I'll tell you, my first year after my divorce, when we, my ex and I really split it up well so that we each get the kids on Christmas. But even then, when I had him Christmas morning, he had him in the afternoon. I remember how in the afternoon, the very first year, I was like, what do I do? Where's my Christmas? It's a change. And depression can start in very fast. And we've also got right now, not only the divorces, but the polarization of our country, our whole country, really. The polarization, vaxxers versus non-vaxxers. People who feel this way about the political scene and people who feel that way. It's just so silly because family is really what should always be first. And loved ones, it's precious. But however, that is the state we're living in this year. So let's talk about how do we bring ourselves rise above any sort of depression. Depression's a very, very interesting thing. I always feel that depression starts with anxiety. So the problem presents itself in our life. What am I going to do this Christmas? I don't have anybody. Okay, we'll take that problem. And then all of a sudden we worry about it in little ways. And our stomach starts to turn and it's anxiety. Okay, we're getting into the anxiety form. Start to obsess about it. And then depression comes in when we feel total hopelessness. There's nowhere to go. No one loves me. Depression starts setting in. And when that's why depression is such an... I always use the word insipid, but that's not the right word. It's a very sneaky and devastating feeling of going from maybe problem solving to total hopelessness. And we want to kind of head that off before it gets to that point. That would be the ideal situation. So to protect your soul and protect yourself and protect, that precious being that you are from this hopelessness, you've got to kind of head it off at the path. Let's talk that first. How do we head it off at the path before it gets to that? It's interesting, that thing of hope. When you are starting out and you know that you're starting to get worried, and you start that obsession. My mother did that. So did, and a husband I once had did that too. Just obsessing about it over and over. What am I going to do? I don't have any family. I don't have any friends. Where are my kids going? Where am I going to be this Christmas or this holiday season? I don't have love. Okay, just stop right there. You stated the problem. So, what are you going to do about it? That's what it is. It's that. I know. I'm going to hear moaning and groaning out there. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It is there's the question. I do not have friends. I don't have family right now. What am I going to do? Or this season's so hard. What am I going to do? All right, fine. There's the problem. It's a problem. So my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? Now, there's a lot of things you can do. Break the energy. Don't obsess about it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Write down the problem. I have nowhere to go for Christmas. Okay. Or I don't have loved ones. Whatever your problem may be, write it down on a piece of paper. Put it on the dining room table or the kitchen table or the counter or the coffee table. I don't care. But make it a table. And every time you walk by, instead of obsessing about it, you're going to write down one way to cure it. Yep. You really are. So if I write down, how am I going to protect my soul during the holiday? Okay, from depression. Okay, how am I going to do that? All right, so I put that on my coffee table. When I walk by, I think, you know what? I think I'll get online and look at some meetups, and maybe there's some holiday meetups that would be fun to go to. I write it down. I don't have to do it, just write it down. Then the next time I walk, and then when I leave it, I don't obsess about the problem. Let it go. You're solving it. You're doing it. See, when we get ourselves into an obsession kind of thinking, that anxiety that leads to the hopelessness, it's a vicious cycle, guys. I saw my mom do it all the time. It just, I just wanted to reach in and grab her out of that cycle. Because she'd do it to herself. She would get onto a problem, and it made her feel like she was really doing something when really she wasn't doing anything. And when she realized she wasn't doing anything, then she would get depressed. I know it sounds silly, but that's exactly what would happen. So if she was all worried about, I don't know, her dog. Let's use the dog. She always was worried about the dog. So she's worried about the dog. It's sick. And all she does is worry about it. She doesn't take it to the vet. She doesn't write down that she's going to take it out for walks and see or change its diet. No, I'm just worried. I'm just worried about this dog. And she obsesses and obsesses about it. And then all of a sudden, she feels this hopelessness. I can't help the dog. But yet all the answers are right there. You have to step out of that. It's like the cyclone that just picks you up, or what are those things? Tornadoes that just picks you up and swings you around and around and around and around. And you can't see that there's an eye to this. If you can just get into the eye, it's all heavenly. Or if I can just get out of it, you just get wrapped up into the turmoil of it. Break it. Break the cycle. Put out your piece of paper on your coffee table. Start writing down. Everything has to be a step forward. A step forward. Out of the cyclone. Out of the depression. Out of the anxiety. Okay? So I've got how to protect my soul from depression during the holiday. All right, my kids are going to be gone. Well, when are they going to be gone? They're going to be gone in the afternoon. So what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. No, you're not going to die. You're going to maybe take in a movie that you've wanted to see. Wow, we got that wonderful Netflix. Maybe get some wonderful popcorn and celebrate just relaxing by yourself. Maybe do something fun and just get out a special notebook that is all about for you to do poetry or to write or to, that's what I love to do. I have been having some construction done on the house, and I was in a hotel. Not one of my favorite things to do. And that's another saga in itself. So then I'm in this hotel, and there was a little like a snacky bar place at the top, and I decided, you know what, I could do this in my room, but I think I'm going to just go up there. And I took a book. And it was a new notebook that was a gift from somebody, which was really special. And I sat down at my table and I decided, what do I want to write? And I thought, well, start writing about that. And I wrote, okay, so I just got this new book. What do I want to write about? Love, joy, or business, or life, or poetry? And then I thought, I'm just sitting here observing the people. And I wrote 6 pages on what it's like to observe and what does it do and what does it do for me and why I love to observe human behavior. I mean, that's fun to me. Maybe it's not fun to you, but what is fun to you? Write it down. Now, once you get your list and you do that for a week, all right, or you do it for 3 days or 2 days, whatever you can, you might have 6 things in 2 days, But the whole idea is the problem stays on the table. The productivity stays on the table. When you walk to get your coffee away from that space, you stop thinking about it. You're breaking the cycle. And then you start acting on it. You pick one. Now, if you're going to be one of those people that says, oh, I don't feel like that today. Well, let's nip that right in the bud, folks. You're going to take your finger, close your eyes, spin your finger around, and the one you point to is the one you do that day. Got it? We're going to be proactive because, see, we're trying to get out of a well-established way of thinking. And if you aren't strong, then you're going to fall into the anxiety and the depression. You have to be strong. You can't give yourself a break. And it's really funny. Sometimes when we jump, that's when the gifts come. I told you that story about when I was really scared. I had journaled my book. Remember, I think I've told you the story, but this applies to this so well. I had been journaling. It wasn't a book. It was like me going up to the top of that hotel and writing on 6 pages on being an observer. I mean, it wasn't a book. And so then all of a sudden I have, I got a person who's already put my so-called phantom title as a domain. I've got all this stuff, people saying, you've got a book. And I'm thinking, I got a book, right? Well, okay. And I go to the coffee shop and I'm trying to put it on the computer and the computer's not working right for me. So I start cursing at it. And I told you, the guy at the end of the table started laughing. And then he said, are you an author? And I thought, oh boy, universe. You're asking me to step forward, to get out of my cycle of confusion, which is where I was, and to really do something. You're asking me to take this leap. Now, I could say no, and then I'd stay in my chaos and never get it done. But what I did was I said, yes, I'm an author, and this is my first book. And when I did that, it activated the universe to help me. And he started laughing and he said, well, I'm a published author and I can help you with your book if you like. See how it works? But we've got to be proactive. We can't stay in that melodrama, that obsession, and then that sickening hopelessness. So we all have stories, folks. Everybody has a story. And we have millions of reasons why we can fall into depression, for whatever reason. But what's the use? It doesn't help us. It actually hurts us. And it's not romantic. That awful feeling is really, I know it's in every romance, and the shiny white person who's going to save you walks through the door. Don't go there. It's not going to happen. The only one that's going to save you is you. I don't know why we always have to have that white knight coming in, female or male, it doesn't matter. No one's going to come in because they don't know you're there. You've got to say, enough. I am going to do some really cool things during this holiday. I'm going to change this holiday. Maybe I want to adopt a puppy. I don't know. That always sounds fun to me. What? Or maybe I want to work at the soup kitchen. Or maybe I want to help people outside myself. Maybe I want to go do something caroling. Does anybody carol anymore? That's so much fun. Maybe I want to get a few people together and carol. Whatever it is proactive and it's moving you forward into a wonderful world of joy, of feeling love. And even more, it can be a time where you are giving love. And when you give love, all of a sudden that love comes back to you twofold. Christmas is a time for love. It's not a time just for families. It's not a time for lots of toys. It is a time for love. And so any way that you can get yourself out of that cyclone you want to put yourself in. And yes, I'm sorry. One time I said to my mom, because she was going to start worrying about my brother, who's like half the United States away, but she doesn't pick up the phone and call him. No, she just sits there and obsesses that now, and she's blaming me, of course. Now I'm going to be worried about that too, was her comment. And I said, Mom, I said, are you going to choose to just sit there and worry about it? And she goes, oh, Alena, don't start. Today I'm going to worry. I said, okay, today you can worry. Do you see? We know we're doing it to ourselves. Don't let yourself do it today. And there are changes in your life. But the one thing that is something that is a steadfast strength, that is showing love. So put down on your list, call a charity and see if I can help on Christmas Day or the Christmas Day before or whenever. Maybe I can give needed food for families that are having a hard time with Christmas. They've got the kids and they've got the Santa, but they have no toys and they have no food. Wouldn't it be great to be a person that helps out there? Or maybe I want to be a person who does go to the meetups because there's a lot of lost souls in there too. And maybe by my shining my light in a really wonderful, loving way, I make new friends and both of us benefit. If you move out there thinking of love and wanting to shine the very best part of you, then it changes the whole scope of it. You're not the seeker. You are the person people are seeking for. And isn't that a better place to be? So this holiday season is a time for us to open our hearts, open our love, let go of that cyclone of hopelessness, that cyclone of worry, that, just selfish. It really is a selfish emotion. I hate to say it. It really is. When there's so many people who can benefit from us and our beautiful light. So it's time for you to reach past that point. And for those of you who say, I don't feel worth it, well, it's time to feel worth it. Don't you? I sound like my dad. No, it's time because people need you. Yes, they need you. In this time, in this world right now, people need you. So pick yourself up by your bootstraps, volunteer somewhere cool, find your strengths, find that love when you're helping others, build something, I don't care, giving, whatever it is. And you know what? Your self-worth will appear. It's one of the best ways. There is a theme here, folks. There is a theme. It is being proactive and coming out of us and into a world with love. That's really what it's all about. So if your kids are going to be gone, that is the opportune time for you to share some love into the world instead of sitting at home feeling lost. If people don't want to come because you're not vaccinated or whatever, or they're not vaccinated, well, then that is a beautiful time for you to reach out with love, maybe sending them something, or maybe sending something to a neighbor or somebody who's closed into their house. You know, there are so many people that need you in this world. And maybe it's just time for you, a special time for you to celebrate the season and its sacredness. I'll tell you what, maybe it's a time for your own special growth. And if you see in yourself that you want to grow, that you always want to feel self-worth, that you always want to have that love inside of you, that you really don't want to go into that cyclone anymore, well then take a look. You got a community, guys. Soul Manifesto is an incredible community. We have talks on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock once a month. And if you're in the same area as I am in the Midwest in Indiana, there's a store called Catapatry in Grable, Indiana. I am there second week of every month doing soul talks. And it's also on Zoom, so you can chime right in. If you can't be at the store, you can still just have me send you a link. Go to Soul Manifesto, say, sign up for Soul Talks, and you'll get a link. And if you're really looking for more than that, well, then look at the Inevitable You. It's a great way. That program, I've been talking to the people who've been on it, and I'm only talking about it because it helps to break this cycle. I have people who are telling me, Alena, I love this program. I listen to it every night. It motivates me. It makes me feel good. I'm more productive. I'm happier. Now, gosh, I'm even amazed. I think it's fantastic. I know it's a good program. It was divinely led. So maybe you want to improve your life. Maybe you don't ever want to have that anxiety anymore. So something like Inevitable You is perfect because it's on your time. Plug it in. Have one of my favorite Christmas drinks. I don't know if I can even talk about that, but I love chocolate Venerment. Which is hot chocolate, peppermint schnapps, and whipped cream. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Have that, sit down with Inevitable You and listen to it and laugh and discover yourself and raise your vibration. That sounds like the most beautiful Christmas evening in the world. All right, so check out Soul Manifesto. But for those of you who want to do the list, that is a wonderful way to get yourself proactive. There is no reason to feel that cyclone of worry, anxiety, and then that hopelessness. You are valued. You are loved. You just got to get out there and start shining the light, and you will be surprised on how much love will come back to you. Yeah, you're strong, hun. You can do this. For everyone out there, you know where to find me at Soul Manifesto. And if you have comments and questions, guys, I want to make this easy, especially if you're driving in your car. Soulmanifesto.com. Sometimes it's a little hard. So just text in 46862. Again, 46862. And then you can just say, hey, this is for Alena, and here's my question. Or, Alena, I really want to get onto Soul Manifesto, but I was driving and couldn't look it all up. So can you send me that link? I can do all that. Again, 46862. Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. And Happy Hanukkah, whatever your holiday. Just make it love. Love. Because spirit is love. And when we fill ourselves with love, we are with spirit. Namaste, my beautiful friends.
This has been Magical Moments with Alena, featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.